One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is up, everybody? Charlie here at JC3 Cards and Collectibles with my main man, Stu. We are back fresh from a road trip Friday where we took a ride out to Eau Claire, Wisconsin for a card show. It's a 3-day card show still going on today and tomorrow at the Oakwood Mall in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. We jumped in the old Silverado, me, Adam from the Dollar Box, and Cardboard Critters himself, our friend Brian. We all jumped in that truck with Stu and we headed west. That's right, head west, young men. We took about a 3-hour drive. It was some crazy Wisconsin weather out there this weekend. We had fog and some drizzle on the way out there, all 3 hours. And then coming back yesterday evening, it was dense fog all the way through the state of Wisconsin. So it was a bit of a grind doing that driving as well. But glad we went. We had a great show. We had a good time. The setup was a little different than I had pictured in my head. I kind of thought for the 3-day card show, there's going to be a lot of tables kind of spread through the commons of the mall. It's not the case. They actually had a vacant store at the end of one of the wings, and they had the primary dealer tables were set up in one storefront section. It was a decent setup, had a ring around the outside, of course, and then an inner ring as well. You were able to get to a lot of different tables. And then they had a little bit of stuff outside in the lobby area, in the commons area as well. But most of it was in that main storefront section. So what did they have? Well, they had pretty good selection of basketball, football, baseball, a lot of modern, some vintage stuff as well. One particular dealer had a lot of vintage setup. I spent some time there. A little bit of non-sports, a little bit of soccer, a little bit of racing too. Not a whole lot, but I did find a few things. So we spent a few, must have been 3-4 hours in that room at that card show. But then we grabbed some lunch at the old food court in the mall. And before we left, our buddy Adam at the Dollar Box said, boy, I think there's a card shop in this mall as well. And we'd really be doing ourselves a disservice if we left without checking out that card shop. So sure enough, we went down the one wing we hadn't been down yet, and we found a little card shop. Pretty impressive place. Unfortunately, I do not remember the name of it. So if you've been there, feel free to add it in the chat and in the comments and let other people know. But I thought it was a really nice place. Lots of collectibles, jerseys. There were sports cards in both boxes and singles. And the singles were organized and accessible in a really nice way. Looked like they also did a lot of Pokemon and other TCG type of cards. There were tables set up where some folks were playing Pokemon, I believe, as well. Just a really cool place overall. And we often find that card shops don't give the same type of deals that a card show will have. But, of course, we asked. We're always going to ask when we get up to that register. And we were able to get a pretty good deal on those. They cut more than I would have expected off of our price. I think they get a lot of people that look for that in that particular store, so it's just become common for them. It wasn't so much a negotiation. We just said, hey, can you do any better on this? We bought quite a few cards, and it almost seemed like they had a percentage that they were already approved to go, and they went right to it. And it was a percentage that we would expect to see on a bulk deal at a card show. So we were happy to take that. So really, I guess the word I would use to describe the trip out there was satisfied. Yep, that's right. This is a satisfied Saturday because that was a good road trip. Got to see some dealer tables we don't normally see, go to a place we haven't been before. If you watched some of the activity yesterday, I know the Dollar Box posted this. We actually got into town and looked for a place to grab a bite to eat, and we found, wait for it, the Goat Coffee House. Can you believe that? 3 guys and a goat walk into a town looking for a coffee house, and they find the Goat Coffee House. Here I am walking in with a goat on my shirt. Looked like I owned the place. It was amazing. And good coffee, good food. It was everything you could hope for. So thank you, Eau Claire, for that. That was a wonderful surprise to find the Goat Coffee House. If by chance somebody who goes to the Goat Coffee House is watching this, make sure you let them know we called them out. We had a great experience there, and thank them very much for their services. All right. So what we're here to talk about, you guys don't want to hear me just blab away about our day on the road and walking around the tables. You probably want to see what we picked up. Well, let's get into that because I did bring home quite a few cards, and it's going to take a while to get through some of this. So I brought home about 569 cards on the day, and you know, I was okay with where I was at with the deals I made. I ended up being about 28 cents a card on the day. I'm not sure where Adam and Brian were at. I would venture a guess that Adam was a little better at the Dollar Box. He is a little better negotiator than me, and he can buy in a little bigger volumes as well. So he typically beats me on those numbers, but I'm okay with 28 cents a card. When I'm hand picking things, pretty much all were sleeved. I was just trying to think. There is very little that wasn't sleeved. I didn't get a lot in top loaders. I will say the items we picked up in that card shop in the mall, those were all top loaded. And that was, 90% of it was. There was a couple little bags put together that were not top loaded. But all the single sales that we grabbed were all top loaded, which makes the deal that much better. I did not shop any slabs. I did not shop any higher dollar amount cards. Sometimes I'll do those as a throw-in. I didn't this time. It was all low-end stuff. And I was really pleased to end the day with a little bit of non-sport as well. I know Adam got the hit of the day on the non-sports, and I will let him talk about that in his video. I'm not going to give away what he found there, but I would have snatched it up had I gone that direction first. As you know, Adam and I often walk into a card show and he goes one way and I go the other, and we kind of meet back at the same place in the end. We were kind of laughing about that at a table. Last table we worked at the show, I said, how is it we always end up at the same table at the end of the day? And I think it's because we do go different directions, and then we circle back and we kind of just gravitate into the middle at the end. And we're both going through the same couple of boxes. We always have a good discussion about, okay, you've gone through this box, I'll start over in this box, or even if we're in the same box, I've been in this column, this row, you're in that row, and we work together on that. We don't really, fight about that. Now, I will say we got a pretty good deal from that dealer, and I think it was because of the conversations Adam and I were having. We kind of, it was getting towards the end of the day, and we were kind of riffing with each other like we do on the lives on Wednesday night, giving each other a hard time. And we got the dealer laughing a little bit, and then he started talking about what we do, and we told him about our show and our businesses. And in the end, we built a little bit of a bond with that dealer, and he gave us a pretty good discount on what we were looking for. It was a good opportunity. Adam and I do this sometimes. We will bulk together. So if I've got 150 cards and he's got 250 cards, we'll look at each other and say, hey, why don't we put them together for more bulk and get a better deal? And then one of us will negotiate through this. In this case, Adam took the lead on the negotiation. we took the combined bulk of cards, which was about 400 cards, I think, 400 to 500 cards. And the dealer came through for us, and he was happy to move some things. So with that, I'm going to get to some of the cards we have. Now, I tried to take out as many of the duplicates that I could here today, but we might see a couple, because that was actually one of the nice things is I was able to get a few volume buys and get multiple quantities of the same card that I think I can move. So I'm going to start here with a little breakdown of what I came home with. This is that breakdown of that 569 cards. You will see that the majority, about a third of what I brought home, was baseball this time. And a big chunk of that was vintage. I hit a couple tables right away when I came in of more modern stuff, things I typically look for. And that was good. But then I kind of hit a low, and there was a couple tables I wanted to hit that were kind of crowded. I typically don't, slam my way in there. I try to be a little patient and wait for an opening. But while I was waiting for that, I noticed this vintage table in the corner that had quite a bit of activity as well, but had vintage baseball, football, some hockey, and looked to have some pretty good prices. There were dime boxes, nickel boxes. There was a lot of Packers, which of course we're in Green Bay, so Packers are good to pick up for us if we can get the right price on them. So I did spend a good hour there, where I don't typically dig into vintage much, but I felt like it's an opportunity for me to grow in my store. So I took the chance to do that. Now, for me, I think about vintage maybe different from other people. A lot of what I buy is 90s or newer, okay? And really a lot of ultra modern stuff. When I think of vintage, I think of pre-1990, so I'll include the 80s in there. So as I look at this 32% of baseball, a big chunk of that was vintage. Then I grabbed almost equal amounts basketball and football, 27, 28% there. Those were mostly modern and ultra modern. Little bit of vintage football, not as much on the vintage baseball, but I did go through their football boxes as well and picked out some things that I thought I could work with. Then about 6% non-sport. That was kind of my surprise of the day. Initially, when I scanned the room, I didn't get a feel for a lot of non-sport. I will say the card shop at the end of the day in the mall really helped me in that area. They had some cool non-sport that I snatched up. And then the rest of it, you can see pretty small slivers, just a couple of cards on some things. A handful of auto racing cards, some F1, some NASCAR, but they were cards I liked. Just a couple of hockey cards. That was my biggest disappointment of the day. I did want to get some hockey. I didn't find a lot. The vintage dealer's box of hockey that I went through, he actually commented when I started looking through it, and he said, "Man, this is the earliest that hockey box has ever been gutted. Somebody came through right before you and took a big chunk out of there." And I think I missed out, and that'll happen sometimes. You gotta understand that. But I took a look. I was able to get a couple of things. Found maybe one soccer. Found a couple of tennis cards. I picked up a couple horse racing jockey cards on the day. A couple of snow sports. You can see just a couple of cards. The percentages don't even, hit 1% on those. The Olympics cards, we're going to see that in a bit. That's Jim Thorpe. Jim Thorpe is always a fun one I like to pick up. And then you're like, do I put this in football? Do I put this in track and field? What do I do with it? These particular ones were focused on the Olympics, so that's how I categorized them. Just a couple of WWEs. And the interesting thing about that is I didn't even get to keep these cards when I got home. We'll talk about that in a second. I found one cool boxing card and then a cool golf Arnold Palmer card as well. So let's talk about for a second what I'm saying with those WWE cards. So I got a handful of WWE cards. I don't know, 4, maybe 5. And so my boys weren't able to come with us. We already had a couple guys in the truck. There just wasn't going to be room. Plus they had school. But a lot of times I like to take my boys to card shows. They like to participate. They are starting to build their own collections. They started off in just Pokemon. More of late, they're starting to get more into sports, right? So typically, and this is what I did here. I said, hey, boys, you're not going to be able to go with this time, but write me a wish list of kind of the stuff you're looking for. If I see some things, I'll pick them up for you. Well, they didn't do that. They went to bed. They forgot about it. Whatever. They just didn't do it. They were too busy playing Fortnite and slipped their mind. So I still had them in mind as I went through the day. And to the best of my knowledge, they had been starting to get interested in Packer cards, WWE cards, and a little bit of Bucks basketball, Milwaukee Bucks. So that was kind of the stuff I was thinking of when I picked up a few cards for the day, especially some of the Packer stuff. When I got home, since I didn't have a list, I'm like, hey guys, I'm really excited to hear you taking an interest in some of the sports cards. You didn't give me a list. I did try to pick up some things I think you like. I can take a quick drink here. But here's what I'm going to do. We as a family sit down and go through everything I bring home. Just everybody likes to see what kind of picks we made on the day. So I said, boys, as you go through this, set aside the cards that you like and you think you might want. And I'm thinking, a handful of Packer cards, Brewer cards, Bucks cards, maybe a little wrestling, whatever. Well, those boys cleaned me out. They took every one of those WWE cards, I believe. They took a ton of nice inserts, basketball inserts. They took a bunch of nice parallels for football and baseball. Like, I walked away with kind of a sly smile on my face, and I said, my boys have been paying attention. So afterwards, I gave them all those cards. I said, hey, you guys picked them out. I told you to pick out what you want. You went a little different direction than I was expecting, and a lot of these cards I was excited to list, but I'll help you get your collection started. Because they're not really looking to sell sports cards right now. They're looking to start collecting a little bit. Down the road, they'll probably sell. Well, I let them have those cards, and I said, look, just so we're clear, next time you need to give me a list or come along. I'm just giving you this one-time opportunity to kind of take your pick out of everything I slaved over all day trying to pull home. And I'm proud to help you. But next time you're doing a little bit of the work as well. So all of these cards that I just talked about, some of them I don't even have in my hand to show you today because my kids got them. So, all right, with that, let's jump into the actual pickups. We'll show you some of these cards. I'm going to start with a boxing card. So if you are of a certain age and your mom and dad had boxing on in the house when you were a kid, you remember these two, Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Duran. This was a huge pay-per-view fight. This was like the blossoming of these mega dollar pay-per-view events. These two had 3 fights, I think. And everyone was a huge seller. And it was in the 80s, I believe. So I found this Boxing Legends Super Bowl card from KO. How cool of a name is that, too? And nice little logo with the kangaroo, the boxing kangaroo. Of the two of them doing promotion for the fight. Another thing that caught my attention in this card is recently I was flying around Netflix looking for something to watch, and there was a special on this super fight, and spent some time with each of them today. And they're quite a bit older now. Roberto Duran has not been quite as successful in his home country of, I believe it was Panama, as Sugar Ray Leonard was. He saw a lot of fame here in the States. So I picked that one up. Kind of an easy pick for me because it's a card that I know people will remember from their childhood. Then a couple of tennis cards. So Here we've got Naomi Osaka, and it's a metallized Fleer metal. We all know, both Adam and I are big fans of Fleer metal. We have an Allen and Ginter, Serena Williams. So was happy to pick that up as well. Now, we talked about this a little bit earlier. We have a Jim Thorpe Mini. This was an Allen and Ginter, I believe. Let me double check. Baseball caramels. Yeah. So I think, it's Panini Golden Age. I misspoke. The caramels are really coveted by some collectors from what I've seen. Now, do I know that this Jim Thorpe will be one of them? I don't know. But I was recently looking at some cards, and I noticed there was a couple that seemed in much higher demand, going for a lot higher prices, and it was these caramel cards. So I picked that one up once I saw it. I'm a big fan of the minis. I think they're cool. They're a little bit of a pain for handling as a seller, but they do sell, and I enjoy it while I have them in my possession as well. Said I got one golf card. That is this nice Goodwin Champions Arnold Palmer. He's got the golf bag there. He's kicking it in his golf shirt. I think there'll be a buyer for that out there as well. Then got to the jockey card. So here is another one of those Golden Age. This is Steve Caston, I believe, Triple Crown jockey. And again, one of those caramels. Let's take a look at that a little closer. Steve Cawthron, I think. I don't know a lot about him, but I do know that if you get the right jockeys, there is a market for them. Here's another one, John Crouquet. He is someone that I've watched some documentaries about. He was a very successful jockey in horse racing. This also comes from Panini Golden Age. I just love these cards. It's such a classic style. Little bit of snow sports. We've got a Chloe Kim, Fresh Foundations there from Fleer Metal. I've got a Goodwin Champions, Michaela Schifrin for skiing. She's usually a pretty decent seller. Then I got a little bit of hockey. We got a Martin Brodeur, a Brett Hull. I had just sold a Brett Hull on the way down there, so I was like, I'll get some more. We got a Pavel Bure. We've got a Sergei Fedorov, score 91. We've got the great one, Wayne Gretzky. Can't go wrong with Wayne Gretzky. Let me sort these out a little more. Try to get them all going the same way for you. I know I got to work on my display game. I'm working on it. Ed Belfour. Another Pavel Bure. So just a little bit of hockey. Not a whole lot. If you look, there's, maybe 3, 6, 9, maybe 10 of them there. Would have liked to have gotten a little more. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes it doesn't. Then moving on to UFC. We've got a My House insert for Conor McGregor. We've got a Hall monitors for Conor McGregor again. A Craftsman insert for Nate Diaz. Now, this one, let me take a closer look at this one. Okay, that's not the one. I did end up getting a serial numbered out of 99 UFC card on the day as well. We've got a Panini Select Conor McGregor. We've got another My House Donruss Optic insert. This one's for Tito Ortiz. I've already sold some of these, so definitely got some more of that. A Donruss Optic base Conor McGregor. Jose Aldo, purple refractor. A Valentina Shevchenko Dominators insert. I believe she was or is a women's champion. I don't watch as much UFC as I used to, but I do like to browse who the belt holders are occasionally. Oh, here's the serial numbered one. So this is a Craftsman's insert for Robert Whitaker. Looks like that's, let's see, the name is in like a purple. So So I would assume that's a purple parallel. That is out of 99. So that to me is a win on that when I can get it for, what did I say before? I think I averaged 28 cents a card on the day, because I should be able to sell that for $3 to $5. I'm gonna say I haven't looked it up, but I would guess it's gonna be somewhere in there. Then a little bit of soccer. It's a Rose Lavelle Goodwin Champions mini, and then we got an Erling Haaland in his Norway kit, just a base, and then one more. This is a 2016 Panini Black Friday Tim Howard in his USA goalie kit. So I think I'll have no problems moving that. Then we got some F1 coming up here. We got a Max Verstappen. We've got another Max Verstappen. This one's cool with the flag. We've got some NASCAR, a pole position insert. This is Martin Truex Jr. Got to move that over a little bit. That is numbered out of 999. We've got a Lewis Hamilton Grand Prix winner. We've got some old, let's see, is this 90, 91, something like that? I think it's 1992 Max Bill Elliott. We got a 2003 Press Path Stealth die cut, no boundaries. So this must have been an insert of Jimmy Vassar. We've got, this one really caught my attention because I hadn't seen this before. This is a 2003 Wheels Rookie Thunder for Jeff Gordon, kind of a debut card. 1993 rookie debut, and it's like the size of a ticket, an actual ticket. That's what caught my attention on it. Another one of these Max cards for Alan Kulwicki, who I believe died in a crash. We've got a Max Verstappen in his car. We've got Rookie of the Year action-packed Jeff Gordon. Look at that. We've got another action-packed Back to the Future with Dale Earnhardt and Jeff Gordon there. I found a run on Jeff Gordon cards. It's another action-packed Jeff Gordon. So this is from the 94 set. This is Rookie's first win. So I was happy to get that. That's my NASCAR and F1 for the day. I had recently picked up quite a bit, so I didn't need a whole lot more. But I'll pick those up when I see the right names. Let's look at a little bit of non-sport, because this was a fun one for me. I came across these Toy Story cards, and I'm a huge Toy Story fan. I couldn't resist. So there's Woody and Buzz on RC. There's Woody and Buzz. Woody's perilously hanging off of there. Here's Mr. Potato Head, Class Clowns. So I wonder, can we call this a rookie card? I don't know. Here's Ham in a profile shot. One of my favorites. Here again is Buzz. Spin that around. Forced to have the tea party. And then here again, maybe we can call this a rookie card. I'll have to look into that. There's Woody in a profile shot. And Woody with that neighbor boy that likes to destroy him. And this is Buzz falling to pieces. He's got his arm off. He's having a tea party. Woody's in the background looking through the window. Here's another one, Buzz and Woody. Woody's checking things out to try and help him out. So I'm a huge fan of Toy Story. I snatched that up. I think I'll be able to find a buyer for that. Next up, we've got some more minis. I like movies. Here's a Bad News Bears. It's Tatum O'Neal. David Stambaugh. Another Bad News Bears. Then we got Lyndon Johnson. I like to collect the presidents, and I do put them out for sale. Actor card, Rudolph Valentino. Huge Hollywood superstar. Henry Fonda. I think most people probably know Henry Fonda. Barry Williams of the Brady Bunch fame. So I thought those were super fun. I am positive I'll find someone else who agrees with me and be able to find a buyer for those. Did find a little bit of Metal Marvel. These were some lesser characters that I'm not personally familiar with. Flash Thompson, I know the name, I just don't know the backstory. And Chameleon, I think his name is. Then, fun family set for us. Got some Peanuts cards. There's Woodstock. There's Cousin Spike. I had about 6 of these Peanuts cards, but one of my boys, or maybe both of them, split them up. They took most of them on me. This one, so I know a lot of people don't like these cards out of archives. I believe they come out of archives, Topps archives. This was 2002, I believe, but with the flashback to 1973 and the dedication of the World Trade Center. So, given the memories of the World Trade Center, this to me is a unique card, and I think someone will be interested in preserving that image history in a card in their collection. Then the classic Bull Durham. I do like baseball movie cards, so I've got Roger Dorn from Major League up on my shelf in here. It's possible I won't sell these Bull Durham cards. I may hold on to them for my PC collection as well. So there's Jimmy. Nuke Lelouch. I think that's definitely one that I want. We got Tony here, and we've got Larry Hockett. So if you're a baseball fan, you definitely know Bull Durham. Just really cool. There's Bobby as well, looking a little disheveled. Imagine that. This next card is from Golden Age, and they're called the Star Stamps. So these are Hollywood superstars back in the day: Vivian Lee, Pat Priest, Lon Chaney Jr., and Fay Wray. Fay Wray, Vivian Lee, I'm very familiar with their work. Lon Chaney Jr., I know him as well. Pat Priest, I do not know. This random Superman card was in a little pre-sorted pack that I picked up. Excuse me. I got the pack for some baseball-related cards that were in it, but this Superman card came with it as well, and it's a nice profile shot. It's in decent shape, not great shape. So I thought, that's a nice bonus. Then there was a few Elvis cards in there. I've already got a few Elvis. They haven't seemed to be big movers. These were in that pre-sorted pack again. So I didn't really pick them, but as they're kind of like throw-ins. So that takes me through the non-sport, a nice little kind of eclectic collection of non-sport. I think that, I'll be able to move that and turn a profit on that, even though it, none of it is super fantastic. Adam definitely got the best non-sport of the day, so make sure you watch for his pickups video. I was pretty impressed with what he brought home from that. But let's move on to baseball. I've got a couple stacks of baseball here, and I am going to start with kind of a player collection. Some will tell you that this is the greatest Yankee to ever play. Derek Jeter, Bowman Heritage Mini. I stocked up on a bunch of Jeter. You know that Adam and I like to joke a lot about Jeter on Wednesday nights. He says he's the greatest Yankee to ever play. I give him a hard time about it. As far as Yankees go, Derek Jeter is a legendary Yankee. I give plenty of props for Derek Jeter. I just like to give Adam a hard time about it. There are a lot of great Yankees, so it's hard to say the greatest of all time, especially when you talk about a Babe Ruth, a Lou Gehrig, a Mickey Mantle, Hall of Famers galore in the Yankees organization. But Derek Jeter, I will say, is a hobby darling. Like, lots of buyers for Derek Jeter. Here's a pennant-driven upper deck. I believe that's an insert. Upper Deck SP. Shortstop, Derek Jeter. Very cool design on that. We've got, this is Topps 205 booklet card. So it's got Jeter and Garcia Parra on it. Let's see if I can get a few more horizontal ones before I flip back over. Topps Diamond Duos. So you got Jeter and DiMaggio on there. That is a fantastic card for a diehard Yankees fan. Topps Decades of Excellence. So you got Yogi Berra, Derek Jeter, Don Mattingly, Reggie Jackson, and Whitey Ford all on the same card. So that's, in my humble opinion, that is pretty darn cool. I know that is a fairly common card. I may even have another one of those already. But if you're a true Yankees fan, I don't know why you wouldn't be on the lookout for something like that. Here's another one of those Topps 205 booklet cards. This one's got Roberto Alomar and Derek Jeter on it. And then the rest of these Jeter cards are vertical, and you'll see what I mean about stocking up on Jeter. We got Derek Jeter Ionics. We've got, oh, there is another horizontal. We've got a Topps Chrome Modern Jeter. We've got a Collector's Edge Jeter. Here's a set that I'm a big fan of, and if you look real close, this one, top right corner's got a little issue with it. It's a little soft, a little bent. I'm 100% positive this will still sell. Just need to figure out the right price. Topps Gold Label. I am fastly becoming a huge fan of Topps Gold Label. I am buying more and more of them. Another Derek Jeter mini here. Derek Jeter Topps. This must have been a commemorative set, Magic Moments. This one specifically celebrates the 96 AL Rookie of the Year. A Fleer Ultra checklist featuring Jeter. This is a Topps insert set recognizing Sports Illustrated for kids. Max Action, Derek Jeter sliding into a base. I think I have an original flagship set of Topps where one of the years the image is the same image of Jeter sliding into a base, and I've sold it already. We've got another one of those Magic Moments commemorative sets. This one is celebrating wins the 1996 World Series. We've got a Upper Deck, a piece of history. Very classy looking card. The shortstop and kind of fancy black writing along the one edge. We've got a Pinnacle Inside 97. That's not one I've come across before. We've got an Upper Deck, another piece of history. This one looks a little nicer than the other one. Let's take a look at that again. Okay, so if you look at the writing, that's in silver. This one is in gold. So different image. Those are going to be different card numbers for sure. Let's take a look here. Yeah, we got 84 and 63. No, 64 and 63. But it's interesting that one is in gold and one is in silver. What I may have there, and I haven't even looked all these up yet, but I may have a parallel there of that piece of history card. Here's another Magic Moments Jeter. Wins the 1998 World Series. You're just stacking up World Series. This is an Upper Deck MVP second season standouts. Little hollow refractor finish. Fleer Genuine Insider Derek Jeter. Another cool looking card. Eye appeal is a big thing, right? This one is 80s set, I believe. Let's see. Oh, wrong. 1994. I don't know why I would say 80s because Jeter was a rookie in like early 90s or 89, something like that. So this is a prospects card, 1994 prospects, and you see Derek Jeter, Mike Neal, Orlando Miller, and Brandon Wilson. Was 94, I feel like Jeter was a rookie earlier than that, and I should know the year he was a rookie. It's escaping me at the moment. A nice. I don't buy a lot of this player, even though he was a great Milwaukee Brewer. I have a lot of respect for him as a fantastic third baseman, a designated hitter. This is card 2 of a 77 card set called Steel Stats. And that is the player I am speaking of is Paul Molitor. So this is in his Minnesota Twins days. I'm not even sure why that's in that stack because I thought I had put all Jeters there. And then the last Jeter card here, a Fleer Gamers, Derek Jeter, a little silver reflection finish on that. So really stocked up on some Jeters. Adam will be the first to tell me over at the Dollar Box. Jeter sells every single day. And I think he's right. I think that's a fair statement. Let's look a little more about vintage cards. And again, just a reminder, for me, I consider vintage anything before 1990. That's just in my mind where I have the dividing line. I know that is kind of subjective. We got an A's Vita Blue. We've got 75 rookie infielders. So Reggie Sanders, Manny Trillo, Doug DeSenseis, and Mike Cubbage. Then we got a couple of cards from the, is this 78, 79, 82. I'm way off on my years. 1982, Dave Parker from the Pittsburgh Pirates. Pops, Willie Stargell from the Pirates. Then I jumped to some sets here. 82 Fleer. We got Joe Morgan. If you listen to Sunday Night Baseball, you would know his voice. He was color commentator for many years on that. Continue with that set. We've got Steve Carlton and Carlton Fisk. It's like a Jeopardy name game. Or Wheel of Fortune does puzzles like this sometimes. So I just thought it was kind of a cool card. I can't be the only one to think that. Then we're going to switch sets. We're going to go with 1977 Topps. Got a Yankees Willie Randolph. Looks like it's a rookie cup card. We've got same set, Dusty Baker. Most of us probably know him as a manager, but he was a heck of a player as well. Mike Caldwell, St. Louis Cardinals. The reason I grabbed him is because Mike Caldwell helped the Milwaukee Brewers get to the World Series in 1982. He played with the Brewers for a couple seasons. It's not where he became a major player, but the Brewers took full advantage of his services for a couple of seasons. So he was just a name that hit my memory banks. We got a 1976 Stolen Base Leaders, Bill North and Davey Lopes. Davey Lopes was Brewers manager for a few years as well. Then I found a number of these Topps Serial Series, first annual collector's edition. It looks like it was 33 cards in the set. I have not yet figured out what year it is, but the last year of stats on the back is 83. So I'm going to go ahead and guess this came out in 1984. So I've got a Steve Garvey. Fernando Mania is running wild. We can't go wrong with Fernando Valenzuela. Jim Rice, one of the great Boston Red Sox in the Hall of Fame. Fred Lynn, old Freddie with the California Angels back then. Eddie Murray, Baltimore Orioles. He was a fantastic hitter. Then we jumped to 1983 Topps, and this was 1983 All-Star set. It was a collector's edition set. There were 40 cards in this set. Picked up a number of those. Here's Eddie Murray again. Here's New York Yankees Rich Gossage. Pretty dominant pitcher in his day. New York Mets Mookie Wilson. A Chicago Cub, Bill Buckner. Dusty Baker again with the LA Dodgers. And then we got a Reggie Jackson. This one's got a little bit of condition, but on vintage cards, that little bit of a soft corner down there in the bottom left is not as much of an issue. So we got Reggie Jackson and his California Angels. We got Dale Murphy with the Atlanta Braves. And I got a few of this guy's cards on the day. This is Keith Hernandez in his St. Louis Cardinals days. I believe he was, I think he won a batting title with St. Louis while he was there. And then we are going to change sets, and we're going to go to 1978 Topps. One of the things I like about these sets is I'm a fan of Topps Archives, and I get those pretty regularly every year. And I like to see the throwback set designs. So it's fun when I'm going through vintage stuff and I see those actual designs. This is a Pittsburgh Pirates Jim Fregosi. We talked about this player actually on the Yankees Decades of Dominance. It is Whitey Herzog as a player and a manager with the Royals, actually. Whitey Herzog. This is a classic baseball name. And then another vintage here, Lou Piniella with his Yankees days. So interestingly, those two cards are kind of flipped backwards, right? Whitey Herzog, we just looked at a Royals card, and then previously we talked about him being with the Yankees. Now we got a Yankees Lou Piniella card, and of course he managed the Yankees too. But I have another Lou Piniella card. I have an auto card that I got, one of the Real One autographs, and that is with his Kansas City Royals playing days. So, even though free agency causes players to move a lot more these days, even back then, players did change teams. Then, again, as part of that card show purchase, this was in a pre-arranged pack. I got that pack for probably $1.50, but there were a bunch of these little mini cards in there. I don't know a lot about them. So this is what the backs look like. If I flip it over, the other side is a full image. So we got a Don Mattingly Superstar. This next one is Danny Jackson. So these were not players I handpicked. It was all in a pack together. A Mark McGwire with his Oakland A's days. This one's fun for me. Oral Hershiser, but when I flip it over, it is Paul Molitor in his Brewers days. So that's pretty cool for me. I'm definitely going to have to research this and understand what was going on with this set because it is unique. A Brett Saberhagen Superstars. I think he was one of the early sidearm pitchers. These are interesting in that they have a blank background. So you will see the Topps trademark on them. It's not too often I find a card with blank background. So I definitely need to find out what's going on with that. Here's a Joe Carter Superstars. Steve Sachs Superstars. A Lonnie Smith Superstars. Now that one's got the blue background as opposed to the other ones had the red. Jeff Ballard Superstars. Fred McGriff Superstars. Rock Reigns, classic baseball name, Rock. Eric Davis Superstars. Alan Trammell Superstars. Ozzie Smith Superstars. The Hawk, Andre Dawson Superstars in his Cubs days. Now we got a few more of these cards with the dual images on the back. That's one of my Brewers. Who is that? I recognize that player. I can't think of the name, though. But on the main image on the front, Mark Gubiza with the Royals. We got Bob Nepper. We've got a Bobby Bonilla card. This was before the Mets decided to pay him forever. Jeff Reardon, Superstar. Another Hawk, Andre Dawson, Chicago Cubs. Can't beat it, right? You cannot beat Andre Dawson. He was an imposing player, too. Like, just look at the image here. Imagine that staring out at you from the batter's box. Gino Petralli. Benny Santiago. He was a really good catcher. Harold Reynolds. Another ESPN announcer, color commentator that people got to know over the years. And then finally, Mets, Howard Johnson. So those were some minis I got out of a pack. Like I said, a prearranged little team bag. Nice little pack. Then I got some stickers here. We'll go through those. These are from Fleer. So there's my Milwaukee Brewers. Nice little trophy sticker. And then got most of this set. So we got the Pirates, we got the White Sox, we got the Oakland A's, we got the Cincinnati Reds, we've got the Padres, Chief Wahoo here. I don't know how much of that old image you're going to be able to find someday, since they've now become the Cleveland Guardians. Classic Yankees logo. Now these cards. So the first one, the Brewers one, that is a sticker. These ones are also stickers, but you'll see the line right up here, like it's a full sheet sticker. It's not just the little Yankees image. We got the New York Mets, St. Louis Cardinals, Kansas City Royals, the Seattle Mariners. Here's a 4-team card, combo card. So you got the Braves, Cubs, Reds, and Astros. Those are just the little circular stickers. We got the Astros, Baltimore Orioles. I love the bird with the bat. That's always been one of my favorite logos. Detroit Tigers, Chicago Cubs. We got the Phillies. Phillies were an adopted team of mine. Sometime in the 2000s, I got on a Phillies kick. I had a jersey. I still have a visor someplace for the Phillies. I think it was while I was living in California, so that would have been like 2004 to 2007. I didn't have my home team Brewers on TV every day, so I watched whatever I could find, and somehow I just gravitated to the Phillies. We got the Angels here with the halo. Love the halo. Minnesota Twins, the Atlanta Braves, and the Dodgers, Boston Red Sox, and finally, another team logo that doesn't exist anymore, the Montreal Expos. So all of those are sticker cards. They're not going to be big dollar things, obviously, but I think there will be some things that can move in the store. My kids took a bunch of those as well. They were popular with them. Then we got a Donruss 86 rated rookie Juan Nieves. I also have a commemorative pin for his no-hitter here. I haven't decided exactly how I best want to deal with it. It came with a commemorative card, and keeping the two together, it became kind of a challenge. So I have them separated right now, and my thought was, do I sell them separately? But I have not really marketed the pin yet. The card, I actually have the card in my dime box, but the pin, I thought that might be an actual, eBay listing. So now we talked about this player earlier, and he's come up again. This is, I think, the 1976 set. No facial hair, which I thought was unique. Another Keith Hernandez. So first base for the Cardinals. This is 1978, so this would have been his 5th year. He looks pretty young there. Same set, Mickey Rivers, Sports Extra. Mick the Quick traded to the Yankees. Classic guy. If you watch the Major League movies, you know him as well. Pete Vukovich, another guy that had an intimidating look, but his came from the pitcher's mound. He'd throw 96 miles an hour at you and inside without a second thought, and he just had this scowl on him. Joe Torre with the Mets, Bobby Valentine with the Mets, Ron Guidry with the Yankees. Buddy, we're changing years now. I didn't call it out, did I? Nope, this is still that 78. Buddy Bell with the Indians, Doug DeSenses with the Orioles. And then I grabbed these 3 1979 Topps checklists. They're unmarked. They're in great condition. It's kind of a sleeper pick sometimes. If you can get good checklists, there are collectors looking for them. So that's the vintage baseball that I picked up. I've got a little more modern, ultra modern we can go through here. I think this is a cool insert. Sometimes I'll get a card and I'm like, I just love that. Stars in Service, Mookie Betts. He's got the hard hat on. One of my favorite players of all time, Cal Ripken Jr. This is a Milestones card. 2,131 consecutive games. We got a Mike Trout holiday. I'm a fan of the holiday sets. This is, I did hit a run of Albert Pujols at the show too. This is Aficionado Diamond Kings. I think that'll be a hot card, especially when the Hall of Fame talk is going on. This is a Topps Lineage Ichiro. We've got a Don Russ hollow finish here. Bert Blyleven from Minnesota. I love these old school, like early refractors. This is a 90s Pacific of Robin Yount, one of the all-time great Brewers. This next one is another Albert Pujols. It's a top set. I always struggle with the name. It's like Master Classics or something. You see the MC logo down there. The actual name of the set is not on the card, though. So I'll have to look that up a little bit. 2017. It's got to be like Masterpieces Collection or something like that. Mike Piazza. That's an ultra modern die cut from Topps. We got a Brett Baty rookie. I did pick up a couple of those. Ronald Acuna, Topps Chrome. I will pick up base cards from Topps Chrome sometimes. You know, it's a little higher end card. This was a cool insert, a numbers game. Roberto Alomar, very good player through the 90s. Won a World Series. This card was driven by the recent acquisition by the Milwaukee Brewers. We talked about it on our live Wednesday night. A Rhys Hoskins rookie card. Albert Pujols, a little mini. Miguel Cabrera, a little mini. This was a fun one. Goudet heads up. It's mini size. Justin Morneau. Aaron Judge. So this is a Topps Archive. I've sold a couple of those, so if I see another one, I will pick it up. Did I say Aaron Jones? Obviously, that is Aaron Judge. So sometimes living in Green Bay, Packer names just kind of creep in all over the place. We got a Pete Alonso refractor from Bowman Chrome. A classy Allen and Ginter. What a day. Albert Pujols. A nice Panini Diamond Kings flashback throwback card for Babe Ruth. I will pick up Babe Ruth cards from any set. I don't care. Even if it's a modern card reprinting an old one, I love it. This one's a horizontal one, Topps Stadium Club, Albert Pujols. So we've talked about my affinity for Topps Stadium Club, one of my favorite sets. I just love the faux bleed photography, no borders. This one is a Hometown Heroes. It's from Panini Hometown Heroes Baseball 2013. Another Albert Pujols, just a cool design there. I really appreciated that design. This next one is a Topps Chrome Jarrett Cole. I think these were hot box refractors, they called them. Another Cal Ripken, 35th anniversary of 88 baseball, I think. Let me look at the back. Yep, T88. That's 1988 Topps Baseball 35th anniversary. I sell a few Rafi Devers. So I got this Topps Chrome Technicolor insert. It's a pretty cool design. I'm not a Rafi Devers fan. I'm not a Boston Red Sox fan. I've got no skin in the game on this particular player, but he sells. And that card in particular caught my eye because it's a cool design. Well, Adam and I always talk about, shiny and fun, and this hits some of those buttons. This next one is another commemorative card. So this is from Post Serial, Babe Ruth, 500 Home Run Club, inducted in 1936 with 714 career home runs. So National Baseball Hall of Fame commemorative card. Pretty cool. I think I'll find a way to move that. Then came across from some holiday metallic snowflakes. It's probably hard to see on this, but in the right light, there's little flecks of chromium on those snowflakes that make them shine. They're much better than the regular base on the Topps Holiday. Same set, same parallel with Giancarlo Stanton, formerly known as Mike. Then little play I like to do. This card is a Hall of Famer. It is in, just looking to see what team he's playing for. So there is a C on the helmet that makes me think of the Cubs, but I don't. Oh, it's Cleveland Indians. Read the front, silly. Um, for some reason, I didn't think it was saying the team name on the front, but so this is Satchel Paige. I've sold a couple of Satchel Paige cards now. So this is a modern card, just reprinting an older image. And there are still buyers for this, and I love it. I love the history of the game, so I buy those and sell a lot of them all the time. We got a Mel Ott. This is another one from Panini Golden Age, and this is cigarette card. So that's the traditional small size from the Carolina Brights. So you got to appreciate that. This next one is kind of a historical baseball card. This is from Alyssa Nacken. She is a coach for the Giants. I believe the first MLB female coach in the game. And then this next one is an Allen and Ginters mini, Fernando Tatis Jr. I've sold a lot of Fernando Tatis over the last year, so I'll continue to pick some of those up. Another familiar name, Keith Hernandez in that mini size. It's a golden age. Then we've got, I'm going to move these cards and reset because I've got some horizontals coming up here. We've got a sliding Mike Trout. For whatever reason, the sliding action shots often do a little better. We got a Pete Alonso Decades Next 2020. I just like this classic design. We've got a artist rendition. I believe that's the artist's name or on the border of the Phillies, Bryce Harper, 21 in a series of 50. Just a cool, unique kind of card, and I will grab those every time. I like the flashiest feet inserts, so I got a Mookie Betts for that. I've got a few of those, but I will get more. There's usually buyers interested. Back to one of my favorite sets, Topps Gold Label. So a Bryson Stott rookie. I have done well with Bryson Stott rookies for the Phillies. I've got a lot of variations, different cards, different sets, different inserts, and they do move. And then another one of these Panini Golden Age postage stamp sets, star stamps they're called, but this one is baseball players. So we've got Steve Carlton, Phil Niekro, Tom Seaver, and Juan Marichal. Some great Hall of Famers on there. We got another numbers game insert, this one with Ozzie Smith with the number 1. Player who's up and coming, and I had a few of these this last season. I hear he moved up the prospect rankings, and there's a better chance he gets called up this year, so I'll stack up on a little more Jason Dominguez. Always buy Dion's when I see him. The football cards sell a little bit better than baseball. But these are some cool cards as well. So if you get a chance to get one for pennies, go ahead and take it. One of my favorite insert sets, the Topps Aces. So Randy Johnson, dominating starting pitcher in kind of my prime baseball watching days. I've had a few of these over the past year, and they've done well. A Stan Musial Top 70 die cut. Die cuts are just cool, and when you get a great player on them, it's that much better. And we got another Jason Dominguez here. We've got an Adley Rutschman rookie. I think he's got more to prove this year. It's always a challenge when you have two hot rookies on the same team, right? So you have Adley, and then you have who's the other rookie there? Plays in the infield. Can't think of his name right now, but I'm sure you'll remind me in the comments. We got a Topps Chrome Eloy Jimenez, and that is a refractor. We've got a Garrett Mitchell Bowman Chrome with kind of that Mojo refractor print. Top 70 years, we got a refractor of Robin Yount. Again, one of my favorite Brewers of all times. Up next, so speaking of favorite players of all times, now we can go back to the Yankees, and one of the other all-time great Yankees that Adam and I like to talk about, Don Mattingly. We've got a Topps Finest, Cal Ripken Jr. We've got a Magic Moment. So you remember we went through that Derek Jeter set earlier, that Topps Magic Moments. Now we got a Ken Griffey card there as well, commemorating the home run after his dad, back-to-back homers. We got another Topps Gold label, this one of Bryce Harper. Another Topps Gold label of the greatest leadoff hitter and base stealer of all time, Ricky Henderson. Ricky sells. Ricky Brick a cleat, selling so fast. And then we've got a World Series Heroes, another of the captain, Derek Jeter. Here's a Derek Jeter all Topps AL team. Really cool finish on that card. Another Jeter upper deck. This is a Fleer patchwork, Derek Jeter. Topps, Topps Town. So this was like some e-game they were playing or something like that. I've got a few of these cards. Topps Town, Derek Jeter. There's a code on the back, and you would go on the website and punch it in, and you could get something for that. Topps Total, Derek Jeter. And then the last baseball card here is a horizontal, so I'm going to reset my video there. This is a holographic. Love these cards when I have them in my hand. So they're a little challenging to take good pictures of when you're trying to sell them. But a Cal Ripken here, you can see the hollow in there. The holographic effects in those 90s cards were just really cool. And this one's interesting. It's a Denny's logo up there as well. So it must have been a promo set for them. So that's my baseball. How we doing so far? That's baseball was a full third of all the cards that I got this trip. Next, we're going to go through some basketball and some football. Stu, what do you think? How are we doing so far? The Stu abides. So we'll jump into football next. It's the next stack I have ready, and we'll go through that. I'm gonna try and pick things up here a little bit. I know we're already an hour in for a pickups video, so I wanna be conscious of your time. So we'll go back over to the card camera. Boom, there we go. So these are all little cartoon mascots. So I got the Chargers, I got the Bears, are they Bears? Are they really Bear Cubs? I don't know. We got the Steelers, we got the Oilers, we got the Falcons, we got the Colts. That looks like My Little Ponies right there too. Might have to tap into that Bronies market. We've got the Broncos. We've got the Cardinals, the Vikings. That's actually a cool little comic Vikings mascot. We've got the Brownies. So that's a set that I had quite a few of them on. My boys took a number of those as well. And then we got into a little bit of vintage football. This is, I think, 81 Lynn Dickey. Another vintage card. This one might be 74. John Brockington, who was Packers all-time leading yardage gainer for running backs at one time. He's been surpassed by now. Then we go into the 90s. We got the Magic Man, Don Majkowski. This was just a little trip down memory lane for me. Tim Harris, he was a dominating linebacker. He was one of those early sack specialists. There's another Tim Harris card, Topps All-Pro card. Then we got Prime Rookies, Tony Gonzalez. I'm a fan of Tony Gonzalez. Tight ends just don't get the love in the hobby that I think they should. Upper Deck Star Rookies, Andre Johnson. I think he was a game changer. This one's a Matt Ryan in his college uni. It's an Upper Deck College Grades 2008 Draft Edition. Pretty cool card. I don't know that there's a lot of them out there. I haven't seen many. Then we got some ultra modern, some prisms, some laser prisms. We got a select Taysom Hill. We got Jameis Winston. We've got Jake Ferguson, Kirk Cousins, a die cut, and then a refractor on top of that. We got Chris Carter Unbreakable. We got a Tony Gonzalez select. We've got a Jared Goff die cut. Ezekiel Elliott die cut. This is what is this called? It is an Upper Deck Ultimate Victory, Peyton Manning. A nice shiny finish on that. I haven't seen a lot of that card either. Here's another older 1990 card pro set of Sterling Sharp. I think had a good shot to be one of the greatest receivers ever in the game had he not had some neck issues. But it's a rough game. That's going to happen. So more football. We got a refractor here, Brian Dawkins. I do like some of these Canton Hall of Fame sets. Let's see. We got a Dion Multiplicity. I've got a couple of these cards. I'll get a few more when I see them. John Elway, the Howitzer. Let's see. Trying to rotate between the vertical and the horizontal. We got an SP Authentic Donovan McNabb with a nice hollow finish behind the image. We got a Frank Gore Jr. First Bowman Pink. This is a playoff set, playoff corporation brand, but it's a insert set called Rookie Hogs, and it just really caught my eye. I picked a couple of these up. So this Rookie Hogs Willis McGahee class of 2003. Here's a Hog Heaven 2003 rookie. This is Boss Bailey, linebacker. Didn't have a long career in the league, I believe, but another one of those cool sports names. Donruss Optic Prototype, Aaron Donald. I've talked before, I don't buy a lot of defensive players, but when I do, they are generational talents, and Aaron Donald fits the bill. And Own the Game, Ben Roethlisberger. A Russell Wilson with that kind of prism hollow background with the squares and the lime green. I just thought that's a sharp card. I know his market has deteriorated the last couple of years, but there are still buyers out there. Another Hall of Fame type commemorative set. This one's for Joe Namath. We got a numbered card here out of 99. This is to Pacific Trading Card Company. I'm trying to see the name of the set. Vanguard. This is out of 99. Jeff Blake, New Orleans Saints. We got an Action Pack Dan Marino, just classic pose. These Action Pack cards do pretty well. Then we got a few more Packers. Top Stadium Club. We know how I love Top Stadium Club. Leroy Butler was one of my favorite players. A Pacific Chuck Cecil. So Chuck Cecil was an iconic defender. He always had blood coming down his face and stuff. And what caught my attention in this card is just look at those shoulder pads. This is an NFL safety with shoulder pads that look like he could be a lineman. I think he's got a neck roll back there too, because you see it bulging behind his neck. Like, today's safeties do not wear shoulder pads like that. An Upper Deck Honor Roll, LaDainian Tomlinson. I love LaDainian Tomlinson cards. Legends of the Fall, Kurt Warner. I am a big Kurt Warner fan. I think he's got a good following. Rookies and Stars, Brian Urlacher. I think he was a game changer. Upper Deck Icons, Brian Urlacher. And Eric Moulds, Airmail. I just think these are cool cards. I've picked up a few of them over the past year. Even my kids were like, oh, that's a cool card. It's got the little postage stamp image up there in the corner, that kind of die cut image. A Jerry Rice Honor Roll. This one's got a really cool finish to it. This is Upper Deck Triumph is the set, and it's a Pack Warrior of Jake Plummer. So it's a refractor type finish, hollow finish. Just really cool. You see the etched design behind there. I hadn't seen it before, and when I see something like that, I usually pick it up if it's the right price. Saints Drew Brees card, Donruss Elite. A Topps, what was this called? DPP, I think. I've seen a few of these. I'm not super familiar with this set, but this was a Reggie Bush. Reggie Bush was kind of an iconic player for his career. New York Giants. I'm sorry. I'm going to skip that one. I'm going to go Ken Ruckers next. So We know how I like to make linemen relevant again. Kenny Ruckers was kind of the guy for the Packers offensive line in the 80s and early 90s. And then 92 rookie with a little patriotic background there. I always like the patriotic backgrounds. But T-Buck out of Florida State, Packers selected Terrell Buckley. He wanted to be the next Deion Sanders. He wanted to play offense, defense, special teams. Kid was talented, no doubt, but he never reached the level of Deion Sanders, except maybe in his own mind. Select numbers Tua. I'm still on the Tua train. Another Kurt Warner, another Hall of Fame commemorative card from Topps. T.Y. Hilton, I think this is unparalleled. Nice finish on that. I'm going to slide some cards out of the way and restart my stack. I am becoming a huge fan of the acetate cards, and I'm starting to get anyone I can find. So this is a clear shot, Saquon Barkley. And then we'll go to some horizontal cards. You may remember in my last pickup video, I got a holiday matchup from Topps Gold Label. I found another one. This time it's got Tim Brown and Chris Chandler. Just love that particular die cut holiday themed card. We got some Cowboys. We got an Upper Deck Tony Romo. We got a Collector's Choice Barry Sanders. Always grab those Barry Sanders when they're cheap. We got a Joe Montana with the triple shot of like the throwing motion. I think that's a cool set of images. I know there's a lot of those cards out there, but I do not believe I'm alone in thinking that's kind of an iconic, cool card. Let's see here. Up next, we've got a relic card, which I didn't pick a lot of relic cards out of the boxes, but I did get a few. So Jamal Lewis. So that is Authentic Fabrics from Upper Deck SP. Adam and I always talk about we like Flair Showcase and Flair. This is a George Teague, another Packer safety. Just the finish on these Flair cards are really good. They were well made, kind of early indicators of what was to come. This was a Victory. Let's see. Who makes Victory? Who knows who makes Victory? Upper Deck Victory. Bubba Franks. It was a nice tight end here for a few years in Green Bay. Another one of these. I was going to announce this one before. So this is from Titanium. And it is numbered out of 795, a Will Peterson die cut for the New York Giants. And then finally, a Josh Allen Field Vision Donruss Elite, and I believe that's a green parallel if you see the green borders on there. So we'll continue on with our football stack. We're about halfway through that. As I said, I love Topps Gold Label. There's a Tim Brown, and that one's in excellent condition. A Fielding Yost. He was a iconic coach. And in those minis, here's another acetate card. Eli Manning, Living Legends. And that's from the Illusion set. I do like the Illusion set. Lots of nice color. Justin Herbert, Epic Performers. George Kittle, Donruss Elite. It's got that hollow finish on it, or a refractor finish, I should say, with Panini. We got a select draft picks of a couple of Texas Longhorns. Jamal Charles, Bijan Robinson, and it classifies as his rookie card. And who's the other one here? Ricky Williams. Yeah. How could you forget Ricky Williams? We got a blue refractor prism, Brian Urlacher, blue mosaic, I should say. We got a Josh Downs rookie with his North Carolina jersey. I think he had a good year. I think there might be some more coming from Josh Downs, so I grabbed his legacy rookie. We got some Panini Contenders 2017 draft picks in old school colors. I got an Emmitt Smith. I got a John Elway. And let's see, I got a dupe of Emmitt Smith here. I thought I pulled those out. We got a rated rookie Jahan Dotson from Don Russ. We got a select George Kittle. Die cut select Terry McLaurin, who I think has been kind of an electric player for the Commanders. I think there's more good things to come. Cameron Jordan for the Saints, die cut. We got a Warren Sapp yellow mosaic. We got a Cooper Cup Rising Suns from Donruss Optic. We got a Jack Sanborn Select rookie. Of course, Wisconsin ties to Jack Sanborn. That kind of influenced my decision on that one. We got another Jahan Dotson rookie. We've got an Odell Beckham Donruss Optic 17. That's the refractor. I think that's just a nice set, too, so I grabbed that. We got an Absolute Football Introductions Jahan Dotson rookie. So, again, a rookie that I think has got a high ceiling. So they got Dotson there now, too. We got a Ben Roethlisberger, kind of a 3/4 size Topps Chrome. Fleer Gamers, Kurt Warner. We got a Donruss Optic refractor for Kirk Cousins. Adam and I were talking on a trip to Eau Claire. What do you think is going to happen to Kirk Cousins? I think he's going to get lost in the wash. He's been a really good NFL quarterback, but he hasn't won the big one. And it seems like it's usually a pick by him or something that ends their season. So I think he gets a bad rap. He's better than his reputation would indicate, but I think they're going to move on from him, unfortunately. We got a Barry Sanders, Donruss Optic, just a nice set to pick up. We got a Tim Tebow season ticket. Tebow, I'm not on the Tim Tebow train, but he's got a huge following, and I will cater to that audience. We got an Adrenaline Rush, Earl Campbell, with a refractor finish on that. Let's see if we got some more horizontals before I jump to these other ones here. Wouldn't you know it when you're looking for horizontals? They're all vertical. We got another Rising Suns insert from Optic, Cameron Hayward for the Steelers. Let's see. Yeah, everything's coming up vertical now, so we might have to switch back. Sure. So I'll switch it back to a vertical alignment. We got a blue mosaic, Ed Reed. Again, don't get a lot of defensive players unless they're going to be Canton bound, and I think Ed Reed probably is. He may even be there already. When did he retire now? It's been a few years, I think. What year is this card? Let's see. This is a 2023. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's retired now, and it's been a few years. I don't know if he was Hall eligible yet or not. So he's either in, or I'm calling it right here, he will be in. A Dan Marino in his Pitt uni. From the Prism. Another Terry McLaurin. This one's Donruss Optic refractor Prism. Jahan Dotson, select rookie. We got Panini Contenders draft picks again. This one is Collegiate Connections for Stanford. So we have Andrew Luck and Christian McCaffrey. We got probably my only Leaf card of the day. Leaf Draft, Field General. Got a Baker Mayfield. He's had a little bit of a resurgence. An Upper Deck Michael Irvin. We got some Joe Montana on the trip. That's a Chiefs card. Top Stadium Club, Chiefs. We got a Derek Thomas Chiefs card. More action-packed. And this one, I hadn't seen this. This must have been an insert. Catching Fire is a Herman Moore. Might be able to find a quick buyer for that one with the Lions trying to get to the Super Bowl. Jared Goff, National Pride. I always like the National Pride ones. Prism, Roger Staubach, flashback. A Mosaic refractor for Cameron Jordan. Jim Kelly, Donruss Optic. Steve Young, Blue Mosaic. Just thought that was actually kind of a cool card with the red base background, but then the outside had the blue mosaic. A Barry Sanders Extra Stars from Fleer Ultra. Blake Corum, Bowman U. I just sold some of these, so I got a few more. Caleb Williams. So I did get a second Leaf card, I guess. It was a Leaf draft. Caleb Williams Heisman Trophy Award winners from his 2022 win. I think he's going to be the number one pick in the NFL draft. I think he's going to be successful in the NFL. I think there's going to be a market for this card. Kool-Aid McKinstry. So I don't know a lot about Kool-Aid McKinstry other than I saw a sideline interview this season, and they talked about his Kool-Aid nickname, and I was like, that is an awesome sports nickname. So that was enough for me to say I think I can find a buyer for that. A Deuce McAllister Topps Gallery rookie card. Upper Deck rookie exclusives. Jermichael Finley. I got a couple of those. I got a Strata Matt Stafford. This one I think is some type of parallel as well. I think it's probably a red parallel. It is a Gridiron Kings Marshall Falk. So you'll see it's the red bordered with the red foil. Then we got a Terry McLaurin die cut. Another Hog Heaven. So this one's LaDainian Tomlinson as well. And then we got a Brett Favre. I got to be careful I say it right when I'm doing this because I like to joke around and say Brett Favre, knowing full well that it's Brett Favre. Of course, I'm from Green Bay. I know his name is Brett Favre, but it's really fun to mess it up and say Brett Favre. So flight to 420. This is touchdown 338. And a couple more of these too. This was one of the surprising picks by my kids. They took like 3 or 4 of this set from me when they went through my cards. So that is my football set. I've got some basketball yet to go to wrap this up. So I see we're almost an hour and a half in. I'm going to try and fly through these pretty quickly because, we're going a little long here. But Fleer Metal, we talked at length multiple times. Adam and I both love Fleer Metal. This is a Chris Webber, Washington Wizards. I love that they have the capital behind them. Revolution is also a set that we like. This is a Ty Jerome. Let's see. We've got Panini Crown Royal. I'm a big fan of Crown Royal. I think this is a red parallel. Malcolm Brogdon, I believe. Yeah, Malcolm Brogdon. Totally Certified Return to Sender Manute Bol. I just thought that was a really cool card. Klay Thompson Splash. Donruss Optics Steph Curry. My kids wiped me out of a bunch of Steph Curry cards too. And Artifacts, Upper Deck Artifacts, Dirk Nowitzki. He was an iconic player in those late 90s. I believe it was late 90s when he was in his prime. I hadn't seen the Artifact set before, so I grabbed one of those. Tyrese Halliburton, Royal Crown Royal. Now, these next couple here are from an Upper Deck set called Building a Winner, and I've sold a few of these, including the Bucks and the Bulls. So I loaded up on a few more. Here's Building a Winner for the Minnesota Timberwolves. So combo card Kevin Garnett, Tom Gugliotta, Cherokee Parks. Here's one for the Orlando Magic, Anthony Hardaway, Dennis Scott, and Horace Grant. We got a Dallas Mavericks with Jason Kidd, Jamal Mashburn, and Jim Jackson. We got a Utah Jazz, Karl Malone, John Stockton, and Jeff Hornacek. We got Bullets. Was it Washington Bullets, I believe, at that time? Juwan Howard, Chris Webber, and George Murasant. Wow, I haven't seen George Murasant in a while. We've got Spurs, David Robinson, Sean Elliott, and Avery Johnson. And then we're back to Fleer Metal. We got some Grant Hill going on here. We got some Jason Kidd going on here. We've got an Upper Deck. What is this called? Upper Deck NBA All-Time Greats. Larry Bird in the Team USA uni. That might go to my brother. A Barcelona Team USA from 92. Larry Bird. That might go to my brother. He's a big Larry Bird fan. And then I picked up a lot of this Heritage set from, what year is this? 2000. Is that 2001? I think it's 2001. But I love the design on this one. It's simple, but it's fun. So Grant Hill, Orlando Magic. Ray Allen, Milwaukee Bucks. Karl Malone, Utah Jazz. Jason Kidd. Chris Webber. The Answer, Allen Iverson. Anthony Hardaway in his Phoenix time. Let's see. We got another Team USA, 92 USA basketball, David Robinson. That might go to my brother too because he likes to collect the Dream Team. We got a metallized Fleer Metal, David Robinson. Got all of the Admiral. Here's a Black Diamond, David Robinson. We got a Michael Finley, Dallas Mavericks Fleer Metal. Michael Finley played at my Wisconsin Badgers in college. Let's see here. We've got a Blake Griffin refractor. We got some Shaq cards here. We got a Prism. We got a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar flashback Prism. We've got another Shaq Prism, Lakers uni. We've got a few Revolutions here that I picked up. Karl Anthony Towns, nice kind of a cracked diamond overlay finish. We've got a Drew Holiday. Let me straighten that out a little bit. We've got Dirk Nowitzki Revolution. We've got an Anthony Davis Revolution. We've got a Victor Oladipo Revolution. My kids cleared me out of some of these Revolution cards as well. Again, one of my favorite sets. I think they look really sharp. They've got some good color to them, and they seem to sell pretty well as well. We got a Coast to Coast Paul Pierce. I do not have a lot of Paul Pierce cards, but that I thought was a cool insert. Panini Contenders Hall of Fame Contenders, Tim Duncan. We've got Grant Hill 1994 draft pick with this nice silver shiny image background. We've got a Skybox Premium Allen Iverson. I like the Skybox Premium cards. And it's a 76ers days. We got a Walk of Fame Top Stars Jason Kidd, who coached the Milwaukee Bucks for a while. And we've got a Star Attractions Patrick Ewing. I loaded up on a lot of Patrick Ewing when I first started reselling cards. And they haven't gone that great. So I don't buy a lot of Patrick Ewing anymore. However, this one was a die cut and a pretty nice image. So I thought I'd take a chance on it. All right. Let's see. We've got Flair Style, Shaquille O'Neal and his Orlando Magic. Another Flair Style, Scottie Pippen and his Bulls days. Let's see if we got some more horizontals in here before I flip it around. Here's one. Nobility with it looks like that's a bronze parallel because I got, well, might not be a parallel. But I got some of these cards from this set that kind of have that Knights of a Round Table type feel. Yeah, the other one I have has the bronze print as well. So I don't think it is a parallel, but it is pretty cool. So Nobility, Chris Bosh with the Miami Heat. That's from the Excalibur set, Panini Excalibur. I just like those creative sets like that. So here's Alonzo Mourning from that Nobility set as well. And then I'll flip it around to the vertical alignment. And this is, I don't know if this is a header card or what, but they definitely put more on this one. So Carmelo Anthony. It's a Night Court, probably an insert from that Excalibur set. Just really cool, unique design. So I picked it up. Up next, we got an Upper Deck Century Legends Paul Pierce. So it was my day for Paul Pierce, I guess. It took almost a year, but I finally got on a little bit of Paul Pierce. We got Kyrie Irving, Orange Hollow or something like that. I forget what they call the Panini Prism on this one. They've got so many different prisms. Sometimes it's tough to keep up with the names. Another Kyrie Prism with the Nets. That's from NBA Hoops. We got a Charles Barkley Fleer Metal. We've got a Brooke Lopez. Another Prism from Don Ross. I've sold a few Brooke Lopez cards so far. Kind of surprising. I mean, he is good. I would expect a lot of Milwaukee fans would buy him, but I don't just send them to people in Wisconsin. They seem to sell in many different places. And Anthony Davis, Court Kings, Don Russ Optic. DeMarcus Cousins, Court Kings. Again, bought it based on the design. I just thought it was a sharp design. A little bit of Michael Jordan. My kids cleaned me out of some Michael Jordan as well. MJ exclusives from Upper Deck MVP. There's another one from that set. We've got an NBA Hoops. What year is this? This is a 91 Michael Jordan MVP card. We've got Magic on Jordan from USA Basketball. We've got a Zach LaVine T- insert from Donruss Optic. We've got a Jerry West parallel. I've loaded up quite a bit of Jerry West because I was watching Winning Time on Max, HBO Max, and it's a pretty good series if you haven't checked it out. A winner stays Bill Walton. I like some of these throwback cards. A winner stays Dwayne Wade. A T-321 Anthony Davis. I don't think it was Anthony Davis that I had a couple cards ago, but Donruss. Actually, this is not Donruss. This is Panini Status Basketball, but the Elite Series. Karl Anthony Towns. NBA Hoops. Dirk Nowitzki, Archaeologist. So again, this is all about the set. I had never seen it. It's kind of the Indiana Jones themed set. Obviously, must have been coming out the same year as one of the movies. Just really cool. And Dirk's got some hobby, so I was like, I'm going to grab that. NBA Hoops Block Party, Dikembe Mutombo. No. We've got a Bogdan Bogdanovic winning ticket out of, the finals ticket from Contenders. This is out of 99. So that's, like I said, I averaged 28 cents a card on the day. So really a good buy on that one. This is one of those. I'm going to go ahead and change out my stack here. This is one of those cards we joke a lot about, Adam and I, about being unnecessarily thick. So this one is, I get that it's kind of necessary. I don't know if you can see how thick it is, but I will probably not be able to send this out in a standard envelope. I'm not even going to say probably. I'm going to say I definitely won't be able to. It is a black gold from Panini, DeMarcus Cousins, but I couldn't pass it up. It's really cool. It's like a shadow box card. So there is a white card in the background with this courtside print in it, and you see a referee, I think, there. And then the top half of the card is this thick black card that is overlaid with these clear windows. So it gives you that shadow box effect. Just an appreciation of the work done on that set for me. Okay. Can't really see. There it is. DeMarcus Cousins. Lighting's a little bit of a challenge sometimes. Sorry. All right. What do we got next? We've got a Fleer Ultra. I've got a few of this set. They just pop. They seem to sell well. Ultra Power. This is a Sean Kemp. Donruss Optic Air Defense. Bam Adebayo. We've got Top Stadium Club. Members only. Scottie Pippen. We've got Topps Total Package. Paul Gasol. We've got some Magic cards, Top Stadium Club. Magic is back. Magic Johnson. We've got a Panini Prism Dominance insert, Scottie Pippen, and a refractor. We've got a Collector's Edge, Grant Hill. What's interesting about this one is look who's guarding him. He's being guarded by Michael Jordan. Someone will buy that just because Michael Jordan's in it. We've got an old school insert for Larry Bird. Love the stained glass. It doesn't matter if it's the true stained glass insert where the whole background is stained glass, or if it's these ones where just the small window behind the player is stained glass. I just think they're really cool. We've got a couple horizontal cards here, so I'll reset. We've got a Steph Curry Express Lane insert from Optic. We've got an Ascension Golden Era Willis Reed. Haven't seen anything like that before going through boxes. Had to take that one home. We've got 90-91 Skybox Bulls, the Chicago Bulls starting team. So we got Jordan, Pippen, Who else do we got there? I don't even know everybody on that team anymore. BJ Armstrong won, I think. Is Paxton one of them there? I don't think that's Horace Grant. I don't know who the other one is. Shame on me for not knowing. Somebody I'm sure will tell me, though, in the comments. And then from the same set, Michael Jordan, great moments from the NBA Finals. An iconic photo of Michael getting a hug and a smooch in on the NBA title. We are just about done, folks. Just about done. I told you it was a good day of buying. Over 500 cards I brought home, and we're going through most of them. Let's see. We'll get another horizontal here. A Zion. There's a lot of Zion going on, but I didn't have this one. So Sophomore Stars. That's an insert. Who's that insert from? Prism. We got a courtside. This is Damian Lillard. Of course, plays with the Milwaukee Bucks now. And a little bit of excitement around him in this neck of the woods. We got another courtside. This one's Trae Young. I recently sold some Trae Young, so I thought wouldn't hurt to have a few more options on that and pick those up. I think that is, we're nearing the end of my horizontal cards too. We got a Get Hyped Prism parallel of Bradley Beal. We got another Express Lane from Optic. This one is Anthony Davis. All right, we'll go back vertical here for a few. If I don't knock all these cards over. This one I like. I just like the lime green on it. Karl Anthony Towns, Fantasy Stars from Donruss Optic. I'm a fan to an extent of Panini Status. So I got this Damian Lillard card. I've sold quite a bit of Joel Embiid. So I picked up this Joel Embiid Prism card. Sometimes it's just about the names that are selling in your store. Back to Revolution, one of our favorite sets. We got an Anthony Davis Revolution. This next one's a rookie card and another UW Wisconsin alum, Frank the Tank Kaminsky. Picked his up. We got a throwback Status Quo from Panini Stratus, Bill Russell. Just a cool idea here, design, a David Robinson big shot. So he's got the hoop circling around him. This is an upper deck. Let's see. It is called Electric Court. So it must have been an insert, and it's with Chris Webber. It's like a newspaper, and it's front and back. It's kind of cool. I hadn't seen it before. I don't have a lot of Chris Webber. I know there's a lot of Michigan fans that still, to this day, give him a following. So I thought that was worth a pickup. Patrick Ewing, kind of a pink cracked ice here. Lamar Jackson's still selling even base cards, so I picked up one of his. We got some more metal. We got a Joe Dumars, Detroit Pistons legend. We got a Miami Heat Alonzo Mourning. This one I'm curious to look up a little bit more. This is a Topps Stadium Club card, I think, like I don't know, an offshoot. I honestly don't know the exact name of this set and the logo. I think it says TMB, maybe Topps Masterpiece Basketball. This is just a really cool design as well. This is a Vin Baker with the Milwaukee Bucks, but it's got the gold border, and it's like Vin Baker has like this gold trim to him as well, and it's a little bit textured, like 3D almost, embossed, if you will. This has got to be like Topps Masterpieces Basketball or something like that. I'm excited to look that up a little bit. We got a Baron Davis College UCLA die cut from Press Pass. Rising to the occasion, John Havlicek from Studio. I've only got a couple of Studio cards in my store, and they've gotten a lot of interest. I've sold some already. Seems like a set that just wasn't out there a lot. Contenders season ticket Steph Curry. I'll buy pretty much any Steph Currys that I see. We've got a Bulls Zach Levine Crown Royal. Another one of those Excalibur Night Court inserts. This one's for Paul Gasol. We got a Hardcourt Heroes from Prestige, an insert set from Rajon Rondo. Up next, we've got a classic. This is one of 20,000 Draft Star Chris Webber. Another cool card. It's kind of got that embossed 3D texture. Got the gold unis on it, Michigan. Just it's one of those eye appeal cards that I felt would be a good buy. Victor Oladipo. It's a refractor. That's why I would buy that. Karl Anthony Towns Prism. It's got the barber pole, parallel refractor. A Dame Lillard refractor. If you can get a refractor for next to nothing, it's usually a decent play. Chris Middleton just became one of the all-time scoring leaders for the Milwaukee Bucks behind Giannis and Abdul-Jabbar, I believe. So number 3 on the list now. He passed Big Dog Glenn Robinson this last week. And that is, of course, a Mosaic Parallel Prism. Julius Erving, Fearless Prism insert. Dame Lillard, NBA Hoops Refractor. And that might be a green prism. I'm not sure. That base set might have been green. I'll have to do a little research on that. Karl Anthony Towns, Court Kings Refractor. A T-321 Donruss Optic for Dame Lillard. Dame time, baby. And then Larry Bird, 92 USA Basketball. We are down to about the last 25 cards. Thank you for hanging with me all the way through this. If you've made it through, if you're going to do it on a rewatch later and break this up over time, that is fine too. I just hope you like the pickups that I'm making. Paul George, again from that studio set. John Stockton from that studio set. I actually got about 5 cards here from studio. Drazen Petrovic studio. So you can see their refractors. Just a nice, classy looking card. Karl Malone. Karl Anthony Towns. Then we go to Panini Essentials. And this is the Essential Stars insert. Got a little refractive background on there. Karl Anthony Towns. If I can get the lighting where you can actually see. There it is, Essential Stars. We got another Rookie Kings from Optic, Josh Jackson. We got a Excalibur. I believe this is that Excalibur set again. Let me see. Panini Excalibur. Yep. It must be a square insert. So Nobility was the insert set we were looking at before, or maybe it's a subset, kind of like Class 1, Class 2, Class 3. Maybe they did Nobility, Squire, and something else. Kristaps Porzingis. We got an NBA Hoops. That is a prism. Zach LaVine. We got another one of the Barbershop prisms. Bobby Portis, big game Bobby Portis. We got another one of the Answer. This is a Prism Hall Moments. Allen Iverson. Alonzo Mourning prism. And Kyrie Irving, like a orange diamond, cracked ice type of prism. We got Karl Anthony Towns in a pink prism. Draymond Green in a parallel prism. Let's see. We've got another Brook Lopez in that same prism variety. Let's see. I think that might be it. That might be the end of the road for this trip. So as I said, over 500 cards in this set. Really felt like a good trip. I got a lot of value out of this. I'll have plenty of stuff to list in my store for a while here. Branch out in a little more of my basketball offerings. First foray into some vintage. Plus, there was a nice surprise that I was saving up here today as well. Friend of the show. We had a friend of the show meet Adam and I out there at the Eau Claire Card Show. Shout out to Matt. He is one of the viewers on our lives on Wednesday nights. This past Wednesday, he said, "Hey, Adam, Charlie, I'll be there at the card show. I'll be looking for you." and I've got some cards for you that I think you guys can use. I did not personally get a chance to talk to Matt, and I'm a little bummed about that. He did talk to Adam. For whatever reason, we weren't able to connect in that room. We probably passed each other and didn't know it yet at that time. That's more than likely what happened. But Matt, true to his word, brought a little gift for Adam and I. He brought a 4-row box of cards. So box like this, and it was full. So you'll see that right now I have 2 rows full. Adam and I split those up, and I came home with, I don't know, 950 cards that friend of the show, Matt, gave us, that, will be some additional inventory for me. So if you think about that, I was at 28 cents a card with everything I picked out of boxes, everything I got at that card shop down the hallway in the mall. I was at 28 cents a card. If you factor in the cards that friend of the show Matt gave us, that puts me at about 10 cents a card for this trip. And that makes for a pretty successful trip. When I can come home with over 1,000 cards, and on average, I paid about 10 cents a card, that is a good pickup stay, a good inventory. So I want to, again, shout out to Matt, say thank you very much for that. Pretty cool going through those two. I wish you could have saw us, Adam, Brian, and myself sitting in the food court, splitting these out, and going through what was in there. Matt, you must have really loved the Dallas Cowboys at some point. I will say that, because there's a lot of Dallas Cowboys in there. But that's going to be it for today. We are almost 2 hours in. Definitely the longest pickup show I've ever done. But more cards than I normally have. Let me know in the comments if you like seeing all of them. If you would prefer that I just pick out some highlights when I do these. There may be some people that have strong feelings either way. Some of you might like the long format. Some of you might like the quick hitters. Just let me know. I'm here to share this content with you to hopefully help you in your journey if you are both a collector or a low-end card seller. Adam and I both do this to share information. You can see the names we're thinking about picking up, the styles of cards, the sets we're picking up, and kind of hear a little bit about the pricing and the strategies we use and some of the skills we use in negotiating as well. So that is it for me. It is Saturday the 27th, and this is officially, if you are a wrestling fan, you will know this. If you are not a wrestling fan, I'm going to educate you. Today is officially the road to WrestleMania beginning. So, as we speak, Royal Rumble is starting. The pay-per-view has started. It is a couple hours in. I'm going to catch up on delay. I could hear my kids hooting and hollering upstairs. I can't wait to go up there and join them and find out what's going on. Hopefully, I'll catch the Rumble itself. If not, I'll watch it in a replay later tonight. But I want to thank you again for joining me. Always a pleasure doing this. Stu, say goodnight. Peace out.